Welcome back to Soul Renovation. I'm Adeline Atlas, 7 times published author. The final stage of healing is using what happened to you to help others. True healing doesn't mean forgetting the past. It means wielding it. When you reach the point where your pain becomes your power and your experience becomes a light for someone else, you're not just healed, you've been activated. The final stage of healing isn't just about feeling better. It's not just about peace or closure or learning how to regulate your nervous system. The final stage of healing is using what happened to you to help someone else. Because once your wounds have been processed, once your patterns have been unpacked, once your heart no longer reacts but responds with wisdom, you're holding something sacred, a key. And keys aren't meant to be hidden. They're meant to unlock others. You don't go through hell just to make it out. You go through to come back with the blueprint. You heal so that the next woman doesn't have to suffer in silence. You speak not to rehash your trauma, but to recode someone else's timeline. You share because someone, somewhere, is still in the chapter you barely survived. And your voice could be the spark that wakes them up. Now hear me. You don't owe your story to the world. You don't have to bleed on command. But when you feel that tug, that pull in your spirit to speak, to write, to teach, to show up, that's not your ego. That's your activation. That's your purpose, using your past as raw material. And when that happens, your pain isn't just something you overcame, it becomes part of your service. This is the point where your story becomes bigger than you. It becomes medicine. It becomes mentorship. It becomes a mirror for someone else to see what's possible. You don't even have to say much. Your energy tells the story. Your clarity tells the story. Your posture, your boundaries, your peace. They all say, I've been through something, and I made it sacred. Most people want healing to mean forgetting. They want to put it behind them, never speak on it again, and move on. But real healing is different. Real healing says, I've met every version of myself. I've sat in the dark. I've cried the unspoken tears. And now I'm using all of it as fuel. Real healing isn't about perfection. It's about transference, using your overstanding to shorten someone else's learning curve. When you share your process, your scars, your victories, your truths, it's not weakness, it's leadership. The final stage of healing isn't hiding what happened, it's owning it with power. It's turning what was once shame into strategy. It's when your healing becomes help. And listen, it doesn't have to be on a stage. You don't need a mic. It might just be the way you raise your kids differently, the way you show up in relationships with maturity, the way you refuse to repeat cycles and call out dysfunction, the way you walk into a room and set a higher standard without even saying a word. That's healing in action. That's healing with impact. So if you've been asking, what was it all for? Here's your answer. It was for this moment. The moment you realized you're not just a survivor, you're a source. You carry wisdom now. You carry clarity. You carry healing not just for you, but for the ones who are still finding their way through. The School of Soul Vault is my private monthly membership designed for those who are done just listening and ready to start building. Inside, you get full access to my video series, the unfiltered teachings, the strategy, the game plans, everything I don't share anywhere else. If you're ready to grow in silence and rise with precision, this is where it happens. Join the vault, monthly access, lifetime impact.